Okay, hello. I was just watching this video of Zenith of the Alphas, earthquake in Corona, brackets California. Okay, this video he's talking about just a crazy synchronicity that happened to somebody. Okay, and just the other day I had a crazy synchronicity as well, which I thought to myself, should I do a video on it? Should I not? It's definitely one of those things that's like, it means something to me. Does it mean something to anybody else? I don't know. Sometimes, though, it's nice to hear these stories. So I was like, you know what? After watching this Zenith video, I thought, you know what? I will go ahead and do the video. I ummed and ahed about whether I was going to do a video on it, and this is kind of, it kind of swayed me to doing this video, okay? Where am I going with this, right? So the other day, to start the story here, the other day we had a little window opportunity. This has been rare because we've had on and off rain now for quite a while. In fact, we've just come off like a 2-year drought, and the pond, my pond by my house is finally full. And we had a little window of about 4 days of dry weather. It's going to be sunny, not real hot, but just sunny and a little bit of breeze. And I'm like, perfect time to go and cut some hay. The ground's still a little bit wet for driving on and mowing, but I was like, you know what, I'll try and cut some hay. They didn't change the weather forecast running up to it, because a lot of times you'll look at the weather and you've got a 4-day window, and then it suddenly drops down to a 3-day, and then it's like you're umming and ahhing about whether to make hay or not. No, that didn't happen. So I was set. I was going to make hay, and nothing changed. Nothing happened in the meantime to sway me from not making hay. So anyway, I went out and I started mowing hay. I think it was on the, I want to say it was on the 8th of May. I can't remember exactly, but anyway, I want to say it was the 8th. Anyway, while I'm out mowing, I noticed in the field, as I'm driving along, I noticed a little white square piece of paper. I'm thinking to myself, oh, I don't know where that's come from, a bit of trash, I thought, well, I'll stop and I'll pick it up. In fact, I think I drove by it a couple of times before I finally picked it up. I was like, I'll have to pick that up. Anyway, I finally went and picked it up, stopped the tractor, get off, pick this thing up, and it's like, oh, it's a photograph. That's interesting. I didn't really think too much of it. And I just chucked it on the side of the, in the cab. Well, I didn't got a cab, but I put it next to my seat in the tractor, and I just carried on. Anyway, I happened to notice another white piece of paper again, and it was another photograph that was flipped up. It'd be difficult to spot it up the other way, but because it was the white side up, easy to spot. So I grabbed this other photograph as well, and in the course of cutting hay, I picked up about half a dozen photographs. So what's interesting about this is I got talking to a neighbour, and I said, I found in the field while I was mowing hay, I found a photograph, and one of the photographs, the first one I picked up actually, mentions a place. I'll read through what it says on the back of the photograph in a minute, but it mentions a place, starts the thing off with Bird Creek. Anyway, I mentioned to my neighbour, and he said, that's come from a tornado down in Oklahoma the other day, because there was another neighbour had picked up a photograph as well and posted it on Facebook, and somebody had already, recognized who it was, and that photograph is, I think, on the way back to the individual that it belonged to. But anyway, so I've got these 6 photographs. Anyway, there's a page where you can post these things, which is what we're going to do this weekend. But in the meantime, everybody had a look at this particular photograph, and yes, it's from a place where there was an earthquake, a tornado Okay, and it was this tornado right here, Barnsdall, okay, down in Oklahoma. It's about, I want to say it's about 90 miles away from where we are. So this photograph has flown up in the air. Number one, it's not being completely obliterated, and obviously photographs being light, but they can get ripped up and stuff. There was a few of them that were ripped. So number one, this photograph, I'll get on to why it's important in a minute. This photograph has been carried up 90 odd miles into the atmosphere, carried up, and then drops in my field. So the chances of that happening, firstly, is pretty slim to none. And the chances of me being out haymaking and finding this photograph is fairly slim as well. Right at this time of year, it's difficult to get in the field to cut hay right now. Like I said, that 4-day window, it was touching. I mean, that's not an easy thing to have happen at this time of year, to cut hay, right? So not only do I get in the field, not only do I spot the photograph, not only do I decide to get off and actually pick it up rather than just mowing it and baling it up, and not worrying about it. So not only do I do those things and find the photograph, it's flown 90 miles to get here, and the tornado was on May the 6th. Okay. Anyway, I'll read you what the back of this thing says, right? Because now you'll get why this thing's becomes really interesting to me. Okay. So anyway, it says what the picture is a picture of the guy's back garden, basically, and the river that runs through Barnsdall, which maybe I've got that up here. So let me show you. There's Barnsdall here, and here's you can probably just make out the river. This is Bird Creek coming down here. And Barnsdall, if I zoom out a little bit, out, you'll see, well, Tulsa's down here. That's a couple-hour drive for me. But as you see, Barnsdall's here, and the tornado tracks over here. I don't know if it hit Bartlesville or where it hit with Bartlesville, but it basically tracks this way. I don't know how long it went on for. Anyway, as it comes over, I live, right over here somewhere. Okay, so it's had to go quite a ways, and to land in my field when I'm making hay, that I could find this thing. Right. Anyway, so you get the idea of how far that thing's had to go. I mean, it's just immense, really, when you think about this, right? But this is what is really significant about this. So it says it's a picture of this creek at the back of this guy's house, right? It's nothing much of a picture, but anyway, the picture of it though is with the creek is it's elevated. It's obviously it's been raining a lot in this picture, and it's flowing really good, right? So it says Bird Creek. From the back porch of my, and then I can't read this word, something house, okay? Really good. I don't know if he's talking about the flow. Oh yeah, look at the flow, right? The river rose higher than this when the Corps of Engineers opened the gates of Hula Dam and Copen Dam at the same time in 1986. And then at the bottom it says P.S. Lotta Wata. Okay, and he's L-O-T-T-A, Lotta, and then in little exclamation marks he's got water written as W-A-T-T-A. Cute, right? Now the chances, what are the chances, right, that the back of the photograph has got this writing on it, right? The chances that somebody actually takes the time to sit and write that, right? And then they mention 2 dams. Now, if you don't know my channel is, well, there's a lot of stuff about the Hoover Dam on this channel, about the idea of the Hoover Dam collapsing and that signifying, a rebirth of man, right? So I do a lot of stuff on the Hoover Dam. What are the chances that this guy has written on the back of this what do I keep calling letter? On the back of this photograph, that he's mentioned dams, 2 dams, right? And what are the chances that one of those dams is called Hula Dam? Okay, Hula Dam, not Hoover, but Hula. I mean, I don't know how close you can get. And not only that, but this isn't the time when those 2 things were, he's written this, he's mentioned it, he's mentioned the 2 dams being open, but it's not really to do with what's actually happening in the picture, apart from the fact that it was higher at the point when they had the 2 dams open in 1986. I'm assuming, well, I can't really see the date. There is a date on the side of this, which is rather odd, because the date on the actual picture, I think it says 3/19/80. I'm sure it says 83. So either the camera is messed up, or maybe it's not an 83. I don't know. Anyway, it's got a little. I have to look at that a bit more. But anyway, because that doesn't really make sense that would be earlier, and then he's talking about a later time, unless it was written on the back of the picture at a later date. Somebody was just sort of describing what was going on. So anyway, I don't know, maybe, yeah, I don't know. But what are the chances that this thing, and now I want to show you where those dams are actually in relationship to what's going on there. In fact, I don't have it on this one. Let's see if I've got them on this. On one of these, I've got it. You can actually see it on this one, I think. Hang on. Let's go to this one. Okay, so you can see. Okay. So now you can see actually where these things are as well. Well, it's where the thing starts is somewhere down here, and it travels up to Bartlesville, the tornado, and here's the 2 dams on the way. Here's Copen here, and then here's Hula here. So, and then it's on the way towards my house, going that way. Okay. So, I mean, talking about synchronicities, and what, I mean, when you sit down and really think about what the chances are of even spotting a photograph in the field, actually being out cutting hay at that time, at this time of year, and actually spotting the thing, actually the guy actually writing on, I'm assuming it's a guy that's written this, but actually writing on the back of this picture about the river in flood, and then actually mentioning the time when it was in more of a flood, which was when they had the 2 dam gates open at Hula and Copen. So what are the chances that he even writes that on the back, let alone mentioning the other 2 dams being open, and not just saying it was higher in 1986, What's the chances? What are the chances? What, and this thing getting sucked up and deposited 90 miles away in my field. Anyway, Zenith mentioned the idea of God in his video, and the only conclusion I can come to here is something like that. There's a higher force at work there, something, out of this world, at work. So yeah, May 6th was the date of that tornado, which again is, when you come to the chart of Lorraine, these are the first 2 numbers. Here, let me do this real quick. These are the first 2 numbers in the 2 towers here, yeah? Right? Right at the top of those 2 towers, the numbers 5 and the number 6. Okay. And then we've got our totals at the bottom: 55, 88. You know, these are the twin towers here, and that tornado on 5.6. I mean, what else? What else do I got to say about it? I mean, you can go to the and look this stuff up. Hula Lake, Hula Dam. Hula meaning eagle. It's the Osage word for eagle. What's on the side of the dollar bill there? On one of the seals, the eagle. Yeah. Look at the numbers in here. The thing's 94 feet high. I mean, I don't know how many times I've gone about 94 um, over the past few months now. 5,200 feet long. Yeah, 52. I don't know how many times I've gone about that as well. It's just absolutely crazy, you know. I mean, just the fact that it sounds so similar to Hoover. Hula Hoover. Crazy. Copen Dam. I haven't really got anything for this, you know, but look, it's all the sevens. It's 73. It's L. If God was speaking to you, what would he put? L. You know? Washington County. Ah, blimmin' L. Washington County. And it's a small county. Look how small that is. If you probably can't see it on here, but it's a small county. Washington County. Washington. The dollar bill. I'm going to leave it there for this one. What are the chances, though? I mean, it's just insane. I ended up picking up, I reckon, how many pictures have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures total. So, you know, I don't know what to say. That was the first one I picked up. Then I've got a picture of I've got a picture of a father, an older man, a younger girl. I don't know if that's a mother, and then a little sort of younger toddler in one picture. You know, the father, the son, and Mary. You know. Then I got a wedding picture here. It's a much older picture of just it looks like late 70s, maybe very early 80s. I don't know. So there's a wedding picture. Then there's a kid with another mother coming down a blue slide. A very young kid as well, coming down a blue slide. Man, the spillway. You know, they're at a playground. Then I've got a picture of snow. Snow down in Oklahoma, I guess. Anyway, that's what I picked up. But this one picture is just absolutely crazy. And that the only other one that had writing on was the picture of the older gentleman, the girl, and the young kid. And Dad says Dad Christy, no doubt Christy. So that's obviously the girl. And then I don't know how you say that. It's Jace, like Jace or JC. I don't know how you pronounce that, but Jace. Interesting, with the ace in the name, the number 1, the Jack in the name, the John, the maybe even like a kind of Jesus reference there as well. So interesting. Blue Stem Lake. Interesting. Anyway, that was the synchronicity. Absolutely crazy, I thought. Of course, I told my wife about it, and she was just like, you know. I said, come on. The guy's written on the back of the thing. It's flown 90 miles, landed in the field where I can see it. It could have landed, like, you know, I've got several other fields that I never even went in, you know. It could have landed on the neighbours. It could have landed in the trees. It could have landed to the side of the field where I didn't mow, you know. It landed right where I could see it. What are the chances? What are the chances the guy writes on the back of the thing? And what's the chances he mentions Hula Dam? Millions to one. Anyway, That's it. That's the video. Thanks for watching. All right, cheers. Bye.